Hello, and welcome back to the From a Skein podcast. My name is Kristen, and thank you if you're a returning viewer, and welcome to those of you who are new. You can find me on social media. I am Knitting Chris on Ravelry, which is the Knitting Crochet Fiber Arts website, free for users, great resource for people on the fiber arts, and also Knitting Chris on Instagram. So you can follow me on either of those accounts if you choose to. But anyway, hello from another gorgeous day in the Pennsylvania mountains. And I just thought I would like to share some of the things that I've been creating with all of you. Hold on to your seats, because not only have I been finishing a couple things, I've been finishing them completely. That means like weaving in the ends. I haven't blocked anything, so maybe not completely, but it's been better with my finishing techniques. So I'm kind of proud of that. The first thing I want to share with you, and you might hear some cars go by again. I'm on my back deck, and sometimes it always seems to be when I record, there seems to be a car that goes by. And honestly, if I told you, we probably have like less than 20 cars a day maybe go by our house. One of them always goes by, or two, when I'm recording. So it's just that. The first finished object I'm going to share with you is a pair of socks. So these are I'll just put both of them up here. There's two, and then we'll talk about them. They are a standard kind of sock recipe that I use, and they are done out of, again, beehive yarns. I think I'd mentioned these on my last podcast, and I had one finished, and I was working on the second one. And they are completely done, ends completely woven in, and they are actually ready to be gifted to one of my sweet friends who I'm going to gift them to. I wish I could remember the name. I will try to be better next time, of the colorway of this yarn. It is from Beehive Yarns. She is from the UK, from England. She is a beautiful dyer. The socks are knit out of her Audrey sock base, which is a 75% merino wool, 25% nylon. The nylon does give it the durability so that it will wear well for you. Also making sure that you knit your socks at a tight gauge will also help with preventing some holes there. But my standard recipe that I use, and this is just me personally, I usually do about 24 rows, which seems kind of odd, but there we have it. 24 rows, which is about 2 inches of the Knit 2 Purl 2 ribbing here at the top. And then I do about 50 to 55 rows of the leg. This has a standard heel flap and gusset done in an alternate colorway. This came as a sock set, so these two colors did come together. And then, I'll do the gusset and the gusset decreases and the foot of the sock in the main color, and then again switch to the alternate color for the toe decreases here. This is just a really beautiful colorway that she's done here, and you can see both of them there are done. They are on some wooden sock blockers. Again, I think I mentioned last week or last podcast, these are from the Loopy U. I do not believe that you can purchase these exact sock blockers, but there are many similar ones you can purchase on Etsy. I think you could just probably do a Google search, and like I said, I pretty much use the sock blockers for display purposes. If I were to show you what these socks look like off the blockers, they are very, there we go. So I'm happy to have these done. I'm looking forward to getting some photographs, putting them on my Ravelry page, and maybe some Instagram posts, and gifting them off to my dear friend so that she can enjoy them. So that was one thing that I did finish, and all the ends are woven in and they are ready to go. So yay. I seem to be on a Beehive Kick. I do really like her yarn. I find that she's a really talented dyer. So this past fall I had started a cowl by Helen Stewart called the Simply Scrappy Cowl. This is meant a cowl meant to be used. You can use anything from scraps of yarn that you have left over to those wonderful mini skein kits that we get, or even that we buy. I don't know if you're anything like me. I have a subscription sometimes to an Advent mini skein. You know, that where you open one skein, you know, as part of your an advent calendar, one skein of yarn a day. This was actually a set that I bought from, again, Beehive Yarns. And it was in their same base, the Audrey base, which is the 75 merino, 25% nylon. And it was in, I know the color of this one, their Woodland Walk colorway. So this cowl is called the Simply Scrappy Cowl, and I'm just going to kind of, now you can, I personally like symmetry in this and like symmetry. You can do this pattern. It's a paid for pattern, so I don't want to give too much away here, but I striped it pretty much in the same order. I did the eyelet rose in it on the same, like in the middle of the actual each stripe, so it actually is pretty symmetrical. I'm not always have to per se be a symmetrical person, but I did really want this to be symmetrical. It's got a beautiful drape. I'm just going to put it on here so you can kind of see how it falls. I think it will be nice this fall to wear and winter. I might block it a little bit. I did not block it. The ends are woven in. They are woven in. I didn't block it. I might steam block it a little bit. It is a perfect drape though. I think it'll look great with jeans. What I like about it is that if it's cold, I can kind of pull it up over. You know, if I'm on a walk or a hike and it's like that. If I just want to wear it as like something, you know, fashionable to wear as an extra accessory, I can do that as well. And so it has a great, you know, you can kind of fuss with it and get it to lay how you want. I did do a, so I cast on with, you know, a long tail cast on, so that always stays at the top, but then the bottom of this cowl will have, just get this off here, the bottom of the cowl has a, or actually like the top of the cowl has a sewn bind off. So I did do a stretchy bind off at the top just to kind of keep it loose there. So I really enjoyed this knit. I don't know why it took me so long. I think I just went through a period where I just wasn't knitting a whole lot. But once I got back into it, this was the perfect project. Very simple, but yet I think it has a stunning effect. I love the colors. It's very autumnal, very lightweight. So I don't think if you're like a person that doesn't like things bulky around your neck, this would be perfect. I think this would be a perfect use of scrap yarns. The only thing I did add this bottom and top yarn were some leftover yarns I had again from Beehive in the grass flower colorway, and the rest is the Woodland Walk mini skein kit that she had offered at one point in time. So I really enjoyed knitting this, and I believe I knit it on a size US 5. So it's great, and I look forward to enjoying it this fall. So those are things that I finished. I am weaving in ends currently on 2 blanket projects, so maybe have those to show on my next episode. What am I working on currently? And this bag, which is from, this is kind of like a really this is my bougie bag. So this is from Sandy by the Lakeside, whom I love. I subscribe to her Patreon. She's one of the very few Patreon accounts that I do subscribe to, and I love her aesthetic. I love her channel. I do love it. So she has these leather bags. They're called bunny bags. They just kind of tie up. They look perfect. They work perfect to just throw in your purse or your carry-on. This is her rose gold metallic one. I say that I am not a huge pink fan, but rose gold you can sell me on every time. In this bag I have my newest pair of socks. This is in the Schursty Cat skein of yarn, and it is a BFL, which is blue faced licer wool, and it's just a type of wool, and it's 75% BFL, 25% nylon. And I know like a lot of people probably are wondering, if you're not familiar with sock yarns, why the nylon? Again, for the sturdiness, for to make the sock kind of wear well. And this is in, again, Schursty Cat. The colorway is Heart of the Forest. So I actually bought this yarn when I was in New York last year in Watkins Glen, and so did some hiking there. It is beautiful. It just reminded me a lot of the Gorge Trail that's up there in Watkins Glen, New York, and it's a state park. And so I started that just the other night. Don't have a lot done on this, but that's kind of how it's knitting up. So it's very pretty. It's very, I wouldn't say it's neutral, but it kind of is to me. It looks small, I'm sure, once I get more of the actual body of the sock here, and once I also get, that heel in as well, it's going to be, I think, look a little bit more like it would fit an adult instead of like a toddler. The other thing is that I have pretty small feet, and I think these will probably be for me. So I wear 6.5, 7. So plan on knitting it pretty much, the way I did the other ones from Beehive. So that's one of the projects that I'm working on in the lovely bag by Sandy by the Lakeside. And one of the other projects that I'm working on is in this scrappy kind of project bag by Lowland Originals, which I can show you the label here. I'm hoping that that's the right way. I'm not sure with this if it is or it isn't. So anyway, she's in I believe the Netherlands, or Denmark, I can't remember which. She has a shop on Etsy. I love her bags. If you ever get a chance to own any of them or purchase any of them, she's fast at shipping. Her bags are beautifully made. Just love them. This is the Traveler Cowl by Andrea Mowry. It is knit in some of my own hand spun, and this is the second time I'm knitting it. I actually didn't do gauge a swatch, which I'm bad about. So you'll notice I'm bad about finishing, bad about doing the gauge swatch, bad about weaving in ends. So anyway, I didn't do a gauge swatch, and I was in the middle of the main body repeat and was figuring that I probably was going to run out, and I was knitting the small adult size. Now I figured I probably could get away with myself wearing the small youth size just because it probably would work for me. Also, when you're knitting this and after you block it, it's probably going to grow a little bit too. So I ended up ripping it out and restarting it. So not at all a problem, and it just gave me more time to knit a little bit with my hand spun. If you know anything about me, you'll soon know that I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, which can be a good and a bad thing. But I like things to be right. So without further ado, this is how it looks so far. I'm amazed. I shouldn't be, but I'm amazed at how just changing the gauge, and this is hard because it's kind of bunched up on here. This is knit, and it's knit on the bias. So when you see this finished, it's going to be, it'll be running this way for me when I wear it. So I'm amazed at how the colors transitioned. It's not showing up here. It's actually there's a lot of purple in here. I call it heavy on the purple. but there's a lot of blue. I don't remember what this fiber was. I don't remember the fiber content. I don't remember the colorway name or who the dyer even was, but it's beautiful. And I spun it quite a few years ago, and so I'm sad that I haven't knit with my hand spun more, and so I'm glad to be getting this project underway. Have these cute little, I'm not, if you know anything about me, I'm not a pink fan, although I love rose gold, but these little macaroon stitch marker stoppers, and not stitch marker, but stitch stoppers are adorable. And they're just keeping my stitches on my needles to come off real easily, go back on, and keeping my stitches right there. I just have a little progress marker here, which I find very endearing. It has the mountains and some trees in. I don't know if you can see it or not, if the camera is going to focus on that. It is just really sweet. And I just kind of move that up each day that I'm working on it. It kind of gives me a little bit of like, okay, this is how much I knit today. So it was kind of exciting to kind of see how the progress that you're making. So I'm excited about this. I feel like I will have enough of the yarn to finish the project, and hopefully might be able to have that done maybe the next time that I record something. So anyway, I've been enjoying that a lot as well. And let's see, I think that that is all the knitting and crocheting. As I said, I have 2 blankets that I'm weaving in ends on, one that I have to put a border on. So that's actually it for that. As far as reading, I'm just reading, trying to make it through a book on my Kindle that I've been working on for a while. I probably just need to have it be a do not finish and move on to something else, because I just can't quite seem to finish it. And this is terrible, but I don't even remember the name of the book. So there we go. I probably should just move on, move along. Music wise, on the piano, I've been enjoying some Debussy. Most notably the first Arabesque, which is probably my favorite piece to play on that. So just been kind of enjoying playing through that again and just kind of relearning that. I had played it in college quite a bit, and I just really enjoy that, as well as a little bit of some kind of contemplative music by Mark Hayes, which is just really some easy music that I can sight read and just play and enjoy on the piano every once in a while. I can just sit down and pop through like a piece or two without really having to rehearse or practice much, and enjoy it. So that's kind of what I've been up to. I would welcome any comments on the video. You certainly all are very welcome here. If you have anything to add, anything you'd like to see. I haven't been making any yarn purchases lately because I have a ton of yarn. I like to enjoy what I have, and I'm trying very hard to use and be a good steward of what I have been able to accumulate over the years. So I haven't been purchasing anything major lately. So that is just something, I've been trying to be more thoughtful about. So I really thank you for stopping in and watching, and I welcome any comments. I think I probably need to get a microphone just for better, better, I don't know, sound quality, I would guess. The other thing I was thinking about, maybe when I'm not able to film outside, maybe a ring light for indoor filming when that becomes an issue. For right now, I've been enjoying the outside, the deck, and giving you the pretty view of the trees in my backyard. So again, thank you for joining me, and I hope that you have a great week and that you enjoy your knitting, crafting, creating, music, whatever you may be doing. Oh, and hey, what are you listening to, right? Because music isn't always just about like performing. So I'm an 80s girl. I'm going to tell you that lately I've been listening to some Phil Collins, and I've been really enjoying reliving that, the No Jacket Required and Hello, I Must Be Going albums. He's a phenomenal musician, and I just have been enjoying that on my commute to work and back, listening a little bit harder music, Foo Fighters, and then my poppy 80s side comes out in the outfield. So the group The Outfield, so and their Play Deep album. So anyway, just thought I would throw that in there as a last minute thing. I hope you have a great week and that you're enjoying your summer. Take care. Also, I didn't get my battery yet. Another thing to do. See you later.